and my left. Senator back. Senator Lindgren.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Education and Training, Simon Birmingham. Will the Minister update the Senate on how the government is delivering fairer childcare support for families?
Excellent.
Order. The Minister for Education and Training, Senator Birmingham.
Thanks, Mr President. I thank Senator Lindgren for her question and her very strong interest in and commitment to effective childcare policies and effective early learning support for children and families. Today, the Turnbull government introduced into the House of Representatives the new childcare reform legislation. Our Jobs for Families package is about making Australia's childcare system simpler and fairer for the 1.2 million families who access childcare in Australia. We want to ensure that we get the best possible outcome from the $40 billion that we will invest in supporting childcare and early learning over the next 4 years. We want to make sure that we get the best outcome for taxpayers, but most importantly we get the best outcome for the families who rely upon childcare and for the children who attend childcare services, because they are our #1 priority. We're committing some $3.2 billion in additional funding to our childcare reforms. This is funding that will help to ensure we can deliver a simpler system of childcare, simpler because we are taking more than 3 different payment structures and arrangements and converting them into one new childcare subsidy, and fairer because at the heart of our new childcare subsidy is the premise that the more a family works, the greater the hours they are entitled to of subsidised care, and the less a family earns, the greater the rate of subsidy they are entitled to. And that, I would have thought, is something that those opposite would welcome. The very premise that the more you work, the greater the hours of childcare you can get, and the less you earn, the greater support you are provided. And that is what this government is committed to. Complete fairness in our childcare system with a strong safety net that is in place to ensure early learning opportunities for preschool children, for children in lower income families, for children who are at risk, for children whose grandparents are the primary carer. Strong safety nets, strong and fair policies that ensure those who most rely on childcare get the most support.
Thank you, Minister. The time for answering the question has expired. On my left, Senator Lindgren, supplementary question.
Thanks, Mr President. Minister, how will the Jobs for Families package help make childcare more affordable for working parents?
On my left. Order. Minister.
Thanks, Mr President. Well, I'm very pleased to inform Senator Lindgren and senators that for Australian families earning between $65,000 and $170,000, when the new childcare subsidy is put in place, they will be around $30 a week better off in paying their childcare. That's around $1,500 per annum they will save on their childcare bills each year for those families who are working, who are reliant upon childcare. But importantly, our activity test is a light-touch activity test for childcare. It is not just those families in work who benefit, it is families who are studying who will benefit. It is parents who are engaged in volunteering activities who will benefit. It is those who are looking for work who will benefit. There are a range of activities that can meet the activity test to ensure that families who need to access childcare are able to access, but importantly, under our fair reforms, the less somebody earns, the greater support they will get from the Turnbull government.
Thank you, Minister. Order. On my right. On my right. That's you too, Senator Williams. Senator Lindgren. Final supplementary question.
Thank you. Minister, how is the government funding this childcare package?
Minister. Senator Cameron.
Thanks, Mr President. The Turnbull government recognises that if you are going to implement new policies, they have to be paid for. Some of those opposite seem to say they acknowledge that. I know that Ms Macklin acknowledges the childcare package must be paid for somehow. But unlike those opposite, we actually have a plan and proposals of how our new childcare arrangements will be paid for. So importantly, we have detailed how they will be paid for, but equally importantly, they are paid for by fair means that ensure those working families are net beneficiaries. And I invite those opposite to actually look at the family tax benefit changes in conjunction with the childcare subsidy changes, Because you can look at a case of a single mum earning $68,000 per year, working 4 days a week with a 3-year-old in long daycare, and under our reforms, in net terms, they will be some $2,845 better off per annum. Real benefits for real families who are really there relying upon childcare
Thank you,
support
Minister.
in the future.
The time for answering the question has expired.